Hey, good morning, everybody. Rory Powers, Right Line Trading. This broadcast is for demonstration educational purposes only. It's important to know that we're not offering any type of trading advice, that I am not a licensed trade advisor, and there is a significant amount of risk when trading the financial markets. If you're not familiar with the risks associated with trading, please consult with a licensed financial advisor. All right, good morning, everybody. Hope you had a nice evening. Today is Thursday, August 21st. If you're joining us today, that's the good news. Hallelujah. We are still in the game. Any day above ground is a good day. Let's win it. Let's get it. Let's take a look. We always start the session off looking at the Forex Factory, the calendar, as to not have any unpleasant surprises. Very news-driven market. We don't want to trade through any red folder high impact reports. So today being Thursday, August 21st, we had unemployment claims, the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, all came out at 8:30. We've got to be very cautious because we have two red folder reports coming out at 9:45. The Flash Manufacturing PMI, Flash Services PMI, 10 o'clock. Wow. These are what we consider to be catalyst events. These news reports, catalyst events that will move the market. Existing home sales, a red, medium impact, orange, medium impact. 10 o'clock also, we have the leading index month over month, natural gas storage. And those are the reports that are going to be affecting our live stream. Let's take a look at the unemployment claims that came out at 8:30. I saw the market took a nosedive, so I'm assuming it wasn't a very rosy report. The U.S. weekly jobless claims rise to highest since June. Well, that could be actually good news. Not that it's really good news; it's terrible news that people have losing their jobs. What I meant by good news being with the FOMC, their goal is to maintain maximum employment and minimum inflation. So if jobless claims are getting higher, that might increase the possibility of an interest rate cut, right? So not a rosy picture with the unemployment claims. Manufacturing business outlook service. Fell to a near zero reading. Not sure what this is. Okay, so that's where we are. Let's see. I have my leaderboard. I changed the workspace just a little bit. If today's your first day joining us, let me give you a 2-minute rundown before the market opens. We're showcasing our automated strategies that trade the futures instruments on NinjaTrader 8. And once they're enabled, they're going to execute and manage the trades for you. We have a diversity of not only instruments, but time frames that we trade them on. We're going to be trading the NASDAQ, the E-mini, the Dow, crude oil, and gold. Our 1-2 punch has been the ES and the NASDAQ. So we mainly focus on those. On the left is my lagometer. This shows me if my charts are accurate, if what I'm looking at is really where price is at. Latency and lag is a big issue in trading, especially when you're doing automated strategies, even if you're trading discretionary. Highly recommend getting a lagometer or a lag analyzer that shows you that your bid and ask price is what you're looking at. On my chart, I see price at 23,251, and I see my bid and ask matches. So there's very little latency or lag, meaning that I'm good to go and I have green lights. I have my leaderboard, our Profit King Challenge. Our sister company is Right Line Funding. We have a prop firm, and we do a bi-weekly contest called the Profit King Challenge with a dynamic leaderboard. Well, this Friday, tomorrow is payday. The old Eagles coming to roost, and we have Tejas on our dynamic leaderboard in first and second place. TZAP is in third place. TZAP needs to get up to $3,000 by tomorrow. Last but certainly not least, we have our leaderboard. These are the bots I refer to as the what have you done for me lately, right? If you did well last month or last week, well, we appreciated it then. But what have you done for me today, right? How are we going to make some money today? These are the bots that are doing the best in the current trading session. These are the ones that have kind of found the ebb and flow, and they're thriving in today's session. Let's take a look and see what we're getting ourselves into. We'll scroll back to midnight, and we could see it was flat. Pre-market, we took a big leg down. And now we're kind of retracing back to the 50. That's our NASDAQ on a 20 Unirenko. I'm going to bring up my trade copier. What we do each morning at 9:30 is we try to copy a trade, get into a trade on our power play strategy. So let me bring up my trade copier. Good morning, Rao. Good morning, Suzanne, Duke, Rion, Rodney, Carol, Tom. Thank you for joining us. Let's make a little you know what today. Good luck, everybody. Last couple of days, the session started with some beautiful moves to the downside. Our power play just jumped in at 9:30. I like to wait until about 9:32 just to see price action, let the market settle down, find a direction. It does help to see a few trades go by in sim. I kind of refer to it as show me the way. Let me see what would happen, how the market's moving, what price action looks like. Our 8U Steven is up 1,000. The Haymaker signal A on the 30 range, 850. Leapfrog had a big day yesterday. Looking for a break of support. Now my 20U, I could see I have these blue lines are areas of support. And my 20U has a lot of support here that it needs to break through. So remember, we have the two red folder reports at 9:45. It might be a good idea to hold off, but let's see what happens. Those are high impact reports. I really think the market, my opinion, which is worth nothing, is that the market's going to pop up today because they're going to see that the interest rates, they have a better um, probability of being cut with unemployment the way it came in. But that's a complete opinion based on nothing. Let's see if we get a break to the upside. Ah, I love that entry. Let's watch it go by. Our 20U is still headed into a lot of upside resistance. We got good volume, 3,100 contracts a minute. Some nice follow through now to the upside. This thing might take off. The report that's coming out at 9:45 is Flash Manufacturing PMI and Flash Services PMI. And those are both red folder reports. All right, power play jumped in. Now, the way this trade is managed, if today's your first day, is what we're looking to do is get into our profit window. If we get into our profit window, you'll see my stop fly down and lock in some profits on the trade. And it gives us the opportunity to get a home run, actually. The leapfrog is what we call it, where we have a trailing stop and a profit target that keeps leaping forward. We're just spectating now. We're not taking any live trades. We're going to wait till after the news report at 9:45. I think that's the best idea. Wow. I had Duke. I had a couple of bots that just crushed it yesterday. Now, when we see our profit target just above resistance, I always move it just below. I want to give I want to give price a clear shot to my profit target. Now it just popped in the window and leapfrogged. Picked up a couple $100 on that trade. We are patiently waiting for the news report to come out at 9:45. 7,000. That's amazing, Duke. Here we go. This thing is drifting up. I had a feeling it was going to, but let's see what happens. We've got a rocky road up. There goes my sniper on the 20U. And my power play. Boy, that was a beautiful entry. This thing could be off to the races. Oh, what a nice entry. Oh, wow. What a nice entry that was. Some good buying pressure. Momentum is headed straight up on our 20 Unorenco. Didn't break through. Even that beautiful entry goes to show you we could lose on any trade, even one that looks dynamite. I think after this next report, we're going to find a direction. Let's hang in there. We got 7 minutes. And I also have on the right, going back to my workspace, on my right, I have my, actually what that is from Rhythmic Trader Pro. I can set up a little chart trader to trade my right line funding accounts. Okay, we're still in this trade. We got a strategy running on Bitcoin, micro Bitcoin futures. MBT is the instrument. Let's go to the Mac truck. Mac truck is down 500. A 2-minute retirement plan. It's about to line up for a short entry. 9:40. We got 5 minutes. Let's hang in there. Power play took off short. Excuse me for a quick second. I'm going to run to the restroom. We got 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Okay, sorry about that. Another nice entry long. Let's see if it has enough momentum to make it into our profit window. I haven't seen much follow through on any of these moves. It's a bit choppy. 1 minute, 1 minute. We got two high impact reports coming out in 1 minute. Let's take a look. Let's keep an eye on the lagometer. There it goes. There she goes. Okay, let's see if we can find a direction now. Our lag looks good. Let's look for a move down. Okay, we're in short. Let's put our profit target right here. Come on down. Come on down. There you go. Nice. Keep going. Breakthrough. Nice. Breakthrough. Push down. Okay. Got a one and done on a Wednesday. 395 across all three PA accounts on that move down. Just what we were looking for. I'm going to sell the market on my, um, let me find the right account. 9, 10, 11. Yeah. The power plays right back in. Now we're done. Our profit goal is 250 to $500 a day. Once we reach it, I disable my copier and I'm done for the day. So with 395 across three PA accounts, that's a total of 1185. We're having a really good week this week. And now I'm in this trade on my right line funding account. See if it. I'm going to try to stay in this until it continues down into the trend. Could be in trouble. Boy, this market's taken off to the races. Oh, wait. Excuse me for a second. Okay. Thank you, Amazon. Just I know the YouTube comes through a couple of minutes. Oh man, they say that your mind's the first thing to go, right? A couple of seconds. The YouTube live stream is a couple of seconds behind, but my lag, I do see it coming in and out on my Nasdaq. Yes, I actually have an appointment with Charles this afternoon. Trying to see if I can get one of these Profit King Challenge accounts. Mr. Burp. Wow. Look at this. That haymaker. It showed its face early this morning. Came right to the top of my leaderboard and put an exclamation point on it. It's up just under $2,000. Our 1 day pass on the 30 range. We have templates that are specifically designed for prop trading to pass an evaluation in one trade. It's a very aggressive strategy. It trades the maximum number of contracts and it looks for a profit target, the minimum number of ticks to pass the evaluation in one trade. For example, this one here took one trade, it made 2,600. Looks like it got into the profit window and didn't make it all the way, but it's just short at 2,600. Then we have our 8 unit Renko Steven. 2 minute retirement plan has been a solid strategy for going on a year or two now. Steven does well when there's big swings going up and down. That Steven can be very exciting to watch. Boy, this is setting up nicely for a short. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you, Rao. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Here we go. We're headed back up. This is tough. Bought. Sell the market. All right, let me go to my trade performance. Let's take a quick look where we're at for the week. Um, yeah, it took a short here. Jeffrey P. This is where I am for the week on the PA accounts. Very nice. About 2350. The signal A's are thriving. Um, with the exception of the signal C, Stephen, every other strategy in my top 5 is a signal A entry, which means it's catching the Laguerre breaking out of the 20% or down through the 80% short. Going long, as this RSI line breaks through that red shaded area, that's our signal A entry. I think the market is still undecided. It's slightly down. Here's a nice short entry. I'll sell it on my right line funding. Well, every time you think it's going to melt down, it bounces. Let's go. Let's take a look at the haymaker. News in 2 minutes. Thank you, Rodney. Existing home sales. Thank you. This is a medium impact report coming out. Existing home sales. $9.58, 2 minutes. Let me close this position. One minute to the news report. We got our 20U down to the last line of defense. If it breaks that area, it could go all the way here. We could have a runner. Maybe one gets loose. 10 o'clock, here we go. I'll play the break. Pop back up. Well, I guess wrong on that right line funding account. Let's see what the news said. What was the report? U.S. growth and hiring accelerated in August, while selling price inflation hits 3-year high. U.S. business activity grew at the fastest rate recorded so far this year, adding to signs of a strong third quarter. Growth was seen across both manufacturing and service sectors of the economy. Hiring also picked up. Got a lot of upside resistance to break through. Maybe that report was the catalyst that it needed to break out to the upside, hopefully. I'm going to close this position. Got some really good buying pressure now. A lot of upside resistance. Let's see if we can break through it. The retirement plan's back in long. All NASDAQ bots on as my top 10 on my leaderboard. No E-minis. Mack Truck is up 934 now. It was down 500 earlier. Now it's back up to 934. That 20 Unorenco has just been having one heck of a month. Sorry. Let me take a look at that Mack Truck. Wow, look at that. Mack Truck this week up 32.36. Come on, let's get through all of this upside resistance. Come on, push it through. That was the S&P Global US Flash PMI. U.S. business activity grew at the fastest rate recorded so far this year in August. Strong third quarter. I think that report is fueling this move up. Yeah, sure, I could do that. Uh, let's take a look at the trade I took on the PA account. It was at 9:45. It was a signal B entry. Let's go back on the 20U. The reason that I took this entry was first and most important condition is the trigger, right? The trigger on this was my Laguerre, my RSI line being locked to the bottom. That's our signal B entry. And when that happens, you'll see a red triangle. That red triangle right here. The entry was one tick below the close of this red candle right here. And it gave me a little heat, but let's stick with the conditions. The trigger we know was the Laguerre being locked to the downside. And now the conditions. The conditions, the reason I really like this entry was my 20 Unorenco at 945. Well, my 15 is below my 50. It's just crossing, actually. Price is below the 50. So that condition of the higher time frame being in alignment on trend is fulfilled there. I felt that there was good selling pressure because that news report had just come out. And there was a spike in volume, which I noticed. And I did see the pivot. I did see support, but I figured that we had room to get in my profit window. Because another thing I look at is I want trend to be in alignment with my 20 Unorenco. So I also want price to be below the 50 and my 15 also below the 50. So market structure wise, my 15 below the 50 on both time frames, the 20 Unorenco and the 30 range. So that's why I enabled my trade copier when I did. I was looking for that B entry. I saw my 20U was lined up to the downside. I really liked price action. And I saw a spike in volume. That's what was running through my head. I always like there to be a clear path from price to my profit target. Coming up right behind me is David Wise, professional options trader. He's going to be trading a SPY super system. Ever since that report came out at at 10 o'clock, the market is reversed, if you notice. Look at that 20U. You can see at 10 o'clock, that beautiful report came out and the market just took off. I'm in a big trade on my micro Bitcoin. Micro Bitcoin, this is a strategy that we've been testing. It's not a very liquid instrument, which is really a prerequisite in order for us to trade it on a bot. Has to be liquid. We have to have a minimal amount of ticks between the bid and the ask so we can get in and out. If it doesn't have a 1 or 2 tick disparity between the bid and the ask, we just can't trade it. And this you could see it's, it can be very difficult getting in and out of MBT. What do the numbers look like? I'll show you. On the MBT, I think we've been trading it. Let's go back to August 1st. Generate this. This is the Mac truck. Mac truck's up 3,400. The MBT is up about 2,000. I always like to say, well, it's made 12,000 in profits. Is there a time of day, since I'm not using a bot drone with this, then I'll look and I'll see my analysis and I'll change it to half hour of the day entry time, and I'll see what time of the day that it does really well. And it looks like it does the best between 8:30 and about 11:30. There is a time in the London Open it does well also, from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. So you really could trade this from 5 a.m. straight through 11:30 and do really nice. But because of the disparity between the bid and the ask, it's not something that I think we could trade. So the top bot on our 30 range was the signal A, the bot that was just taking the signal A entry, the haymaker. And let me show you what I mean by signal A entry. I get a lot of questions as to what is signal A, B, C, or D. Let's go back. A signal A entry is when my RSI line, this green line in my oscillator, is my RSI line. And when it comes up and it breaks through that 20% line and my 50 is green, okay, that's the condition. That's an important condition. We're not taking a counter trend trade where price is way below the 50 and we're going to go long. No. We got a retracement back to the 50 and our RSI line came down, and now above the 50 it crosses back over, and you could see my 15 is above my 50, and it's market structure wise this is a trend trade, nice and tight to the 50. So it's kind of a pull back and go in the direction of the trend. That's the signal A entry that did so well today. Here's the short. It took a short, it took some heat, but then it dropped like a rock and got a full winner. And here it was to the long side. Got in nice and tight to the 50. Right here when it broke, my 50 is green. And even though the market wasn't really in a really nice trend, we were getting in so nice and tight to that 50 that we were able to capitalize on making some nice profits without getting a tremendous excursion. And that's the good part about that signal A entry. Where a signal B is the trigger is once the once the RSI line's locked, sometimes that could be a pretty good distance off of our 50, where the move might be overbought. Signal C and D are just different degrees of a pullback and go. The D has to come back to the 15 and go, and the C is about, I think it's like 47% on our oscillator. But today, the signal A did really well, and that's what our ChatGPT, that's what our new update coming out is going to really hone in on. It's going to really hone in on doing a deep dive into what's working, and it's going to immediately suggest going to that entry and going to that bot in your ChatGPT. These are going to be really smart bots when we're done. But the point I was going to make was the signal A's did really well. Retirement plan signal A, the 30 range signal A, the Mack truck has just been crushing it. Those have been the best bots of the day. The signal A, number 1, 2, 3. All right. Let's do our free drawing, and I want to briefly mention the our prop accounts. Our sister company, I mentioned it when we first started, is Right Line Funding. The URL or the website address is rightlinefunding.com. Yeah, go ahead, Gambit. Good morning. Question on the chat, GPT? That's a good question. And I believe the answer is yes. I think it's an $8 a month subscription. That answer is not set in stone. Um, but I think from listening to Sergio, and let me tell you something, these guys, you got to forgive me, they talk right over my head when it comes to this technology. I sit in the meetings and listen to them, and half of the time I have no clue what they're even talking about. It's really complicated stuff, and it's above my head, above my pay grade. Um, but from what I understand, I think that everybody gets a separate server, and there is a nominal fee that you'll need to subscribe to in order to get ChatGPT 5. That's a good question. Yes, it will. Absolutely. It will be included. Okay, back to the Right Line Funding. This is the Right Line Funding website right here. What I was showing was my leaderboard. Let me just refresh. Okay, Tejas. Tejas is still number one and two. He's pretty much sat on his hands the last few trading sessions, and for good reason. He qualified for first and second place. Um, there's an old saying, don't fix it if it ain't broke, right? He's in a very good position, and it's definitely not broke. He's qualified with $3,000. Let me log out and go to our website. We've got really great options. We have regular evaluation, regular prop accounts. What I mean by that is you have phase one is the evaluation. We have a $50,000 evaluation, and we also have a $150,000 evaluation. And once you pass the evaluation, then you go to sim funded. If you want to bypass the evals and go directly to sim funded, you could do that. It's starting at $299 for a $50,000 account. Now, we were talking this morning, we're thinking about also including tech support with these accounts to help you get set up. For a $150,000 sim funded account, these are all sim accounts, it's $449. The advantage of the funded accounts is, well, number one, you don't have to go through the blood, sweat, and tears of passing an eval. And number two, there's no activation fee, right? You start off and you can get straight to a payout within 8 trading days. After 8 trading days, and you do the requirements that are outlined here, you can request a payout very quickly. At the bottom of the website, these are the platforms that you're able to trade on using our Right Line Funding accounts. We're in talks with NinjaTrader with the new ownership. Hopefully that'll be available, but if not, we have other solutions. We have Rhythmic. What I was showing earlier was this is Rhythmic. I could take, pretty much a chart trader is what I do is I make it a chart trader and I put it next to my Ninja chart and I could take trades on my Right Line Funding account using Rhythmic Trader Pro. Or you could use Bookmap, Multicharts, Quant Tower, Sierra, Motive Wave, and there's one or two others. But I also wanted to point out that at the very bottom of the site is the trader agreement. It's important to know the rules, and this also answers a lot of very commonly asked questions. We have a chat bot on the site that is pretty smart. If you ask this bot questions, it will answer a number of different questions, very common questions that most people have. And last but certainly not least is our Profit King Challenge, which is kind of a little bit different than your regular prop account. This is a competition that's a lot of fun, where we have a leaderboard and the members of our community compete to win cash prizes. Mark Miller, the owner of the company, is very generous, and bi-weekly is passing out a couple $1,000 plus every 2 weeks. It's a nominal fee to get in. It's $49. We do a drawing every day here on YouTube Live. If your name is picked, you get a coupon code for a $1 entry. And the $1 entry gives you a $2,000 intraday trailing sim account where you have to trade at least 3 days with a 50% consistency rule, which is very lenient. And in order to qualify, you need $3,000 in profit. And we're going to give away, first place is $1,000, second place is $500, third place is $300, fourth place $100, and fifth through 10th, we're going to buy you a really nice lunch for $50 a piece. So 10 people get cash prizes. And what we do every day is a drawing. And I already drew the names of our winners. Our winners today, somebody asked me yesterday if their name was in it. Can you just remind me who that was? Was it Manzinga? I can't remember. But today's winners are Jeremy E., Alex A.W., Vince G., and Larissa. You four were randomly selected, and I'm going to post your names in the Discord chat. So my associate Brock will automatically send you the coupon code that you'll need to check out. So let's go back to the leaderboard. So the leaderboard is what I was showing earlier. Once I'm logged in, and go to the leaderboard, it shows Tejas in first and second. Okay. Boy, this market's still going up. I had a feeling today, our 2-minute retirement plan, while I was talking, hit our profit limit for the day. Once the retirement plan hits $2,000, it's done. So is playing the leaderboard a perfect science? No, nothing is perfect. We never claim that this is the golden grail, the holy grail, or the golden goose. But we have a methodology that I think makes a lot of sense, and this is a system that we're committed to make even more powerful with these advancements in our technology. The company is really putting a lot of resources, time and money into making this a powerhouse of a system, and we are really excited for this update that's coming out. But what I was saying was our leaderboard, had you played it this morning, we started the session with the same 5 bots at the top, and they really added to their gains as the session went on. Now, please, if you would, on the way out the door, if you would like my video, I sure would appreciate it. It keeps new eyes on our products and services. And Rao, I'm going to ask Mark about extending the hours. I think it's a great idea. I'd really like to, I'd love to do that. That would be great. Let me think if I'm forgetting anything. God willing, we're going to be back tomorrow. Oh, yeah, yesterday, speaking about yesterday, turns out that I did have that appointment with the optometrist, and they recommended an iridotomy, not to be confused with a lobotomy. But this iridotomy I have very narrow angles, and they have to put a laser beam and put a small hole in each one of your irises, each one of my irises, so it can drain properly. So that's how that turned out. So I'll be going in for a small procedure next month. I never knew anything about any of this, but it's called an iridotomy. I've heard of a lobotomy. If you're crazy in the old days, they give you a lobotomy, and they take part of your brain out, I think it is. So we're going to be back, God willing. Same time, same place, same channel. Tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. And we're going to try to close this week off strong, strong, strong. Make a little bit of a nice comeback. The last few weeks I was struggling. But now I'm brought it back. So I'm really excited. So let's close the week on a strong note tomorrow. I hope everybody has a blessed rest of your day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us. For joining us. I'm going to have some more information. Our team meets on a daily basis regarding this new update we're working on, and it's really exciting stuff. I've got it on my computer, the newest version. I'm not 100% comfortable with it yet, so I don't want to show it today. But by tomorrow, I'm going to show you a couple bells and whistles of what this thing is capable of. So we'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, please like my video on the way out. Have a blessed day, everybody. Thank you for joining me. So long, everyone.